Attention, Commanders Nation first. Imagine this. Our general manager, the mastermind behind the boldest moves, is planning a strategy that could redefine the future of the Commanders in 2025. Yes, you heard that right. 10 heavyweight names are on his radar. We're talking about defenders who could fortify our secondary, receivers who would elevate our aerial attack to unprecedented levels, and a pass rusher who could be any rival quarterback's nightmare. This is huge, folks. Want to know more? Stay tuned until the end because this is going to be a bombshell. But wait, because it's not all about the future. In the present, a veteran on the offensive line has stepped up at the most critical moment. With an injury that could have shattered our playoff hopes, this player has shown that he still has a lot to offer. His recent performance has not only been impressive, it's been vital. What does this mean for our playoff aspirations? Could this veteran be the key to securing our spot in the postseason? This is urgent, and you need to know now. And now, the third news that could be the most impactful of all. Our star receiver is finally getting the recognition he deserves. Projected as an all-pro selection for the first time, this player has taken his game to another level. His numbers are impressive, but what really matters is his connection with our rookie quarterback. Is this the duo that will lead the Commanders to glory? Are we witnessing the birth of one of the best connections in the NFL? This could change everything. Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you could define the future of this team that's not only surprising, but now commands respect in the NFL. Yes, I said it. Under the leadership of Adam Peters as general manager, the Washington Commanders are no longer the laughingstock of the league. Overlook it if you want, but these are glory days in D.C. Let's lay the cards on the table. With a record of 8-5 so far, we're seeing a team that not only competes, it dominates. And beyond the field, Peters is already planning his strategy for the 2025 free agency. Listen to this. 10 impressive names are on our front office wizards' radar. Why? Because Adam Peters doesn't sleep, folks. Carlton Davis III. Another corner? Yes, mark that down. First, let's talk about Carlton Davis III, that coverage master who's shown in Detroit what a true elite corner looks like. Now, I know what you're thinking. Didn't we just bring in Marshawn Lattimore? And I answer, yes, of course. But this sport requires depth. Adam Peters isn't going to sit still. If Davis is available, the phone must ring. Chris Godwin, another star alongside McLaurin? Give me more of that. Now let's move on to the wide receiver. Jaden Daniels is being everything we expected and more as the franchise quarterback. But folks, tell me this. Is Terry McLaurin and company enough? I say no. Chris Godwin, if healthy, could take this offense to heights we haven't seen since... when? Seriously, when was the last time the Commanders had this level of offensive potential? Nick Bolton. Do Wagner and Luvu need reinforcements? Bring them in. Bobby Wagner has been the spiritual and physical anchor of this defense, but no one wins long battles with Father Time. Peters knows it, and Nick Bolton, that titan in Kansas City's defense, could be the perfect fit. Add Bolton to an already fierce group, and I promise you this, the Commanders will not only hit harder, but do it with brutal elegance. Jevon Holland. Because safety in the backfield is never too much. The secondary has been a transitional point for the Commanders in recent years, but imagine this. Jeremy Chin and Jevon Holland in the same backfield. That's pure dynamite. Will the Dolphins dare to let him hit free agency? If they do, Peters has to be there ready, with his checkbook and more. Sebastian Joseph Day. Stop the run and then talk to me. Does the defensive line need something else? Maybe. And here's where Sebastian Joseph Day comes in. Excellent run stopper. Someone who can be that piece that closes gaps right in the center. If there's something that can win championships, it's dominating in the trenches. Don't you agree? Javonte Williams, dynamic duo with Robinson Jr.? Now, listen to me on this. Some might think spending on a running back is an unnecessary luxury, but Javonte Williams could be the perfect complement to Brian Robinson Jr. Add to that a rejuvenated Daniels, and folks, I'm predicting an unpredictable offense here. Brady Christensen. Versatility on the line is the whole game. This is the smartest thing Peters can do. Thoroughly reinforce that offensive line. The line has been solid, yes, but don't tell me you wouldn't like to have someone like Brady Christensen, a guy who can play any position. Depth is what separates contenders from champions, folks. Josh Sweat. Not enough pass rush? Here's the answer. The Commanders' pass rush has improved, but they should look for a name like Josh Sweat. His ability to constantly pressure the QB adds that spark that sends them to the stratosphere. Is he expensive? Of course, but Peters isn't afraid to break the bank if the performance is worth it. DJ Reed, fearsome triplet with Lattimore and Sainristil. How do you improve an already strong secondary? By adding someone like DJ Reed. Imagine this: Reed, Lattimore, and the promising Mike Sainristil covering the entire field. That throws any rival offense off balance. T. Higgins, Alpha, Omega, or both? Last but not least, T. Higgins. This guy has been preparing behind the scenes with the Bengals, and we still don't know, but he has everything it takes to be a WR1 for any franchise. Do you want him alongside McLaurin? Because I want him yesterday. But here's the real question. Is Adam Peters willing to enter a bidding war? Because I assure you, Higgins won't come cheap. And now, Commanders Nation, I leave this on the table. Which player from this list would change the immediate future of the Washington Commanders? Because I have my favorites, but I want to hear yours. Leave it in the comments. Carlton Davis? T. Higgins? Josh Sweat? We're watching them play big, and 2025 could be the year. So, who do you want Adam Peters to bring to DC? Now, folks, let me tell you, we need to give flowers to Cornelius Lucas. Yes, sir, because this 11-season NFL veteran just showed us all that there's still fire in the tank, and boy, did he do it at a crucial moment for the team. Let me explain exactly why this news not only represents a step forward for Lucas, but also for our playoff aspirations this season. Look, here's the context. Andrew Wiley, our starting right tackle, gets injured before the game against the Titans, and suddenly we're in a tough spot. What do you do when you lose one of your key men on the offensive line? Many times, teams stumble. But no, the Commanders decided to take a chance on Cornelius Lucas, who has mainly been occupying the left tackle position this season. Switching sides on the offensive line mid-season? Come on, this is no child's play. It's like asking you to drive a car, but suddenly they tell you, now drive, but from the passenger seat. Totally a change of mindset, don't you think? And here's the brilliant part. Lucas not only accepted the challenge, he crushed it. The man was training double shifts before and after practices. As Coach Dan Quinn mentioned, Lucas was working closely with Sam Cosmi to sharpen those technical details and master the right side. Folks, we have to call it like it is. This is what separates an average player from a true professional. We're not talking about someone who just goes to the field and does the bare minimum. Lucas showed hunger, dedication, and above all, character. But now I ask you, how many truly thought Cornelius Lucas could perform like this after spending most of the season in another role and with 33 years on him? Someone tell me, because I don't see many players in this league making that kind of sacrifice at his level. This guy has a work ethic that we should be praising in every corner of DC. Now let's talk about the impact. His performance in the last game not only kept our offensive line stable, but also protected Jaden Daniels, allowing him to play a solid game against Tennessee. This is no small feat because we know that the success of this team starts in the trenches. Without consistent linemen, quarterbacks suffer, and we are no exception to that rule. So, with Lucas stepping up and doing his job quietly, we're one step closer to the playoffs. Who would have thought? Sure, the victory over the Titans is important, but the road doesn't end here. In Week 15, we face the New Orleans Saints, a team that won't make things easy. Here's where the question gets interesting. Can Lucas continue proving his worth in that position? Because a victory against the Saints not only solidifies our playoff opportunity, but also sends a message to the rest of the league. These Commanders are coming with everything. But for that to happen, we need consistency, and Lucas will be a giant piece in that puzzle. So now I tell you this. What does Cornelius Lucas's performance show us? Well, something we often take for granted. It's about professionalism, versatility, and the mental toughness needed to overcome adversity. In the NFL, not everyone has that mentality. But Lucas, at 33, is showing his teammates, and all of us as fans, what it means to be part of this team. And now I leave you with this question. Do you think Cornelius Lucas should remain the starting right tackle, even when Andrew Wiley returns from his injury? Now let's talk about someone who is finally getting the respect he so deserves. Terry McLaurin, projected as an all-pro selection for the first time in his career. This is the recognition we've been waiting for years. And let's be honest, it's more than deserved. I'll tell you something. The rest of the NFL can no longer ignore him. Let's talk numbers. Terry has 61 receptions, 896 yards, and 9 touchdowns so far this season. Yes, folks, 9 touchdowns. And with 4 games left, he has already set a new personal record. To put it in context, his previous record was 7 touchdowns in 2019 in his rookie season. This man is not only being consistent, he's shining like the true leader he is. And tell me something, how many receivers in the league face double or even triple coverage in every game and are still in the top 5 in receiving yards? McLaurin is doing all this without having an elite receiver partner to split the defense's attention. He is the focus on every snap. But now let's get to the important topic, the impact of rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels. I ask you, is Daniels the reason McLaurin is elevating his game, or is McLaurin the one bringing out the best in the young quarterback? I believe this. McLaurin is showing Jayden how to be a leader in this league. The chemistry between these two is electrifying. For the first time in his career, Terry has consistency at the quarterback position. And look at the results. His best season to date and expectations to surpass 1,000 yards for the 5th consecutive season. Now I'll tell you something. The competition for All-Pro is no joke. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, all players of historic caliber. But when we look at McLaurin, his case is more than solid. Without a star receiver alongside him, facing the best defenses in the league, and always with the ball in play, he remains the offensive beacon of the Commanders. This is no coincidence. It's pure talent. And there are no excuses for him not to be on that list. Moreover, his importance to the Commanders transcends the numbers. This team needed a leader, someone who embodied effort, dedication, and consistency. That's McLaurin. Since his arrival in Washington, he has been the heart and soul of this offense. And now, with the team in the playoff hunt, he's showing why he deserves not only the All-Pro recognition, but also the title of undisputed team leader. So here's the question, Commanders fans. Do you think this connection between McLaurin and Jayden Daniels can become one of the best in the NFL in the future? Because I'll tell you this, if these two continue to grow together, we could be witnessing something historic for our franchise. Commanders Nation, it's time to hear from you. Which player from this list do you think could change the course of the Washington Commanders? Carlton Davis, T. Higgins, Josh Sweat. The names are on the table. The 2025 season is getting closer, and the moves in management are vital. Who do you want to see in the DC uniform? Leave your bets in the comments. Now let's talk about our offensive line. The million-dollar question is, should we trust Cornelius Lucas as the starting right tackle even when Andrew Wiley is ready to return to the field? We've seen his performance in this final stretch, but we want to know, what do you think is best to protect our QB? Share your ideas in the comments. And of course, we can't ignore the chemistry between Terry McLaurin and Jayden Daniels. Are we witnessing the beginning of one of the most electrifying duos in the NFL? The promise is there, but we want to hear from you, fans. Is this the connection to take the Commanders to the next level? Leave us your opinion. Finally, if you are a true Commanders fan, this community is your home. This channel is more than a space for news. It's a family passionate about our team. So join, subscribe, activate the bell, and participate in our talks. I count on you to grow this community. And remember, hail to the Redskins!